I got a few things to say about this one. What's going on, my beautiful geek culture? As always, I'm your boy O, and today we have more word from CosmicBookNews.com. Shout out to them for continuing to bring the noise regarding the Saudis' ambitions for that of the Snyderverse. So you know what that means? Things are about to get a little bit spicy, baby. This article is titled, Saudis Want to Rival Marvel with a SnyderVerse-Level Event, says Insiders Exclusive. Following our report from yesterday about the return of the Snyderverse, our insiders have filled us in on a larger plan behind the Saudi bid for Warner Bros. Discovery, and it explains why Zack Snyder has been posting non-stop and why Christopher Nolan continues publicly praising Snyder's influence on blockbuster filmmaking. So, in other words, Zack Snyder is the blueprint. Do y'all remember when they did that comparison between Rebel Moon and Andor Season 2? It was the exact same scene, played out the exact same way. Superman drags a ship by the anchor, and here comes the thing in 2025. He does the same thing. I believe they thought that we would not notice. According to what we're told, Saudi Arabia's public investment fund isn't just buying Warner Brothers for content. They want to rival Marvel and build an event franchise on the scale of Avengers Doomsday, something James Gunn's DCU cannot deliver while the studio waits to be sold. This lines up with what we've been reporting. Gunn's future at DC Studios becomes uncertain the moment Warner Bros. Discovery is sold, and he can't greenlight a massive crossover event because leadership knows ownership is about to change. That's why his slate is small and isolated around his, quote, Superman family saga. Gunn just announced the Jimmy Olsen series, and Andy Muschietti said he isn't allowed to talk about Batman. Gunn has openly stated that he doesn't want to touch Darkseid, which our insiders say is a key indicator. The Saudis view Snyder as the filmmaker meant to complete the DC epic he started, which of course featured Darkseid as the villain. Now let me get in this kitchen and cook. First, I would like to say that my position on Warner Brothers chasing Marvel's money is not changing. All right, remember, I said that the studio were wrong to chase the audience that Marvel had. That is why things got a little bit goofy. You know what I'm saying? Like, you think about that of Shazam and the Fury of the Gods. You think about The Flash. You think about all of those films. They all tried to cater to Marvel's audience. And I will forever tell you that that was the wrong direction. The studio misread the room. Until this day, they refuse to acknowledge that. Now, the difference here between Warner Brothers and the Saudis, they actually believe in Zack Snyder. See, Warner Brothers was chasing Marvel's audience while at the same time, Zack was building the audience. Think about it like this. Even though Man of Steel made $670 million in 2013. That was a lot of money for a new universe. And coming off of Superman Returns. Okay, Superman Returns scored half of that. All right, and it only was released, 5 years earlier or 6 years earlier, something along those lines. And it did not achieve what Man of Steel was able to achieve. Then you fast forward to 2016. You get Batman vs. Superman. Opening weekend, $400 million. Box office total, $874. Yeah, I know. That's just 2 times its opening weekend. But get this, $400 million in one weekend. That was massive. All right. Then Suicide Squad. That film made $750 million worldwide without China. Without China. Yes, I'm going to continue to say it because I feel that a lot of people don't mention it enough. All right. They feel that the 750 is all of the markets included. No, Suicide Squad was missing a few markets besides that of China. All right. Then you got Wonder Woman. $800 million worldwide. All right. Justice League was not his fault, but still $650 million worldwide. And you have that of Aquaman. All right. Now, why am I bringing this up? Take all of those films and adjust them for inflation. Every last one of them, except for Man of Steel, earns $1 billion in today's market. And Man of Steel is quite close. It's like $970 million or so. So Zack was doing the job that they gave him to do. They just refused to accept that you had to build your audience. You had to get people invested. And the moment that people were getting invested, you turned them away by canceling the Snyderverse. All right. See, the Saudis, they're smart. They recognize that Zack was bringing the people in. Warner Brothers, on the other hand, they were just blind. They were just blind. Okay. They had no clue how to handle this thing. They had no clue how to direct this thing. They had no clue how to allow the directors to be in charge. See, the difference is the Saudis believe in Zack. Warner Brothers never did. They never did. In fact, if you ask me, they don't even believe in themselves. That's right. Anytime you have to scoop to the level of your opponent, then you are suffering. That's right. You're a studio that has more Oscar wins than any other studio in history. Okay, you should focus on what you are best at, and that was storytelling. All right, it was storytelling. People forget Warner Brothers was known for storytelling. Warner Brothers was known for being a director's studio. Ever since this whole thing happened with Zack Snyder, that reputation has been lost. Christopher Nolan refused to work with them. Think about that for a second. Christopher Nolan, the most successful director they ever had under their umbrella, refused to work with them to this day. All right. They screwed over him. They screwed over Zack. They screwed over Tim Burton. They screwed over so many directors throughout history. And it came back to bite them in the ass. It is facts. Okay. While people out there are making excuses for the studio, understand that everything that is happening is their fault. Now, let me move on, because we have a few people in the comment section and they are saying that we're supporting a foreign country owning that of Warner Brothers Discovery. At this point, I don't care. I don't care. Hell, we got our president. He's doing deals with Saudi Arabia. Why you're not saying anything about that? Okay. At this point, I am unconcerned with who will own Warner Brothers Discovery. All I'm focused on is the entertainment that is going to please me. Just give me a good story. Just give me films that I can enjoy. I do not care about who's owning Warner Brothers Discovery at this moment. Because if you ask me, it's been sold going on 3 times in 8 years. All right. So who's ever owning it certainly do not know what the hell they're doing with it. Okay. Think about that for a second. How many times do you want this thing to be sold before it doesn't exist anymore? You need someone with the financial backing to keep Warner Brothers alive. All right. I care more about that than who's owning the studio. That's how I feel.